thanks for joining me. Today we will focus on stretching and strengthening the side body. So just begin in a standing position with your feet about hip width distance apart. Keep the feet parallel to each other. You can soften the knees a little bit, yield into the ground, and place one hand over the lower belly, the other hand over the chest. Okay, relax the elbows and shoulders, eyes open or closed. You bring your attention to your space. You sense the mat beneath you, providing stability. You might feel the body subtly shifting as it balances. Keep the joints stacked. And breathe more consciously through the nose. Can you feel your breath moving beneath both of your hands? As humans, we have the ability to not only breathe with the rib cage, but with the diaphragm as well. Okay, so keep this expansive cycle moving. What are the effects of breathing this way? Just cultivate greater focus and calm. Can you bring this with you through your practice? Take 2 more cycles. Opening eyes, relax the arms down. Okay, we'll just start by isolating different joints in the body to check in and warm up, beginning with the neck. Bring your chin to your chest. Okay, without turning the shoulders, turn your chin towards your right shoulder. Now bring the chin up slowly. We'll create a circle, leaning the head back. You could gaze higher. Move the chin slowly across to the left shoulder and down to the chest. Okay, just moving the neck, turn your chin again to the right. Bringing it up, you might make a bigger circle. Take the chin across to the left shoulder, down to the chest. Once more this direction. Isolating the neck, turning your chin to the right, bringing it up and across, down to the chest. Okay, switch directions when you're ready. Go 3 times this way. And move within a range of motion that your neck allows. Okay, always avoid anything that causes pain. So you can always go around certain angles or skip them if there is pain. Okay, when you're done with your next cycle, really take your time. Just look forward. Okay, then we'll reach the arms forward, wider than the shoulders. Make a V in front of you. Okay, have the palms facing in. Okay, just relaxing shoulders, keeping shoulder blades pretty neutral. Okay, we're going to raise the shoulder blades next, elevating them towards the ears. Okay, keep energy in the arms. Now retract shoulder blades in towards the spine. Depress them down away from ears, then protract shoulder blades apart. Reach through the fingertips, making jazz hands. Again, elevate shoulder blades up. Retract them in towards the spine, depress them down, then protract apart. And now we'll reverse, retracting in, elevating up, protracting apart, depressing down. Once more, retract in, shoulder blades rise, then move them apart, and depress them down. Okay, rest your arms down by your sides. You can soften your knees a little more. Add a little twist here through the body. You'll feel it mostly in the torso. The chest will turn, arms swinging through space, mindful of what's around you. Naturally, the pelvis and even the knees will turn with the spine. Keep it integrated. Each side, okay, once more. And then return to center. Bring your feet together. Bend your knees as much as you can while keeping the whole foot planted. And stir your knees around. So just start in one direction. You can always have smaller circles. Perhaps the circles get wider. Push through the feet and keep the whole foot planted. Switch directions if you haven't already. Okay, this could be little circles, maybe bigger. And inviting more movement into the ankles and knees. Straighten your legs. Okay, from mountain pose, feet can stay together or have them hip width apart. Just choose your stance. Commit to it. Okay, standing tall with intention. You make your footprints an inch deeper. Okay, the body an inch taller. Steady gaze ahead. Breathing through the nose. Take another full inhale. Full exhale. Okay, on your next breath, circle the arms up overhead. Okay, bring hands to heart center, pressing palms together gently. And again, arms reach up, take up space. Hands to heart. One more time, reaching arms above you. They encourage length through the torso. Now fold, hinging at the hips. Bend your knees on the way. Spend some extra time here in your first fold, hands on the ground or on blocks if you need to raise the mat. Okay, weight is forward and the feet engaging the legs. Now take a halfway lift. Knees could stay bent. Press palms against shins. Send the chest forward. You can also look forward ahead of toes. Fold again with hands down. Okay, halfway lift, long back, shoulders away from ears. Tabletop next. Hands and knees to the ground. Stacking joints, keep arms and thighs vertical. Fingers spread apart. We want to cover space, especially when weight is in the hands. Base knuckles rooted. Starting from the pelvis, let's take cow, tipping the pelvis forward, tailbone up, and the belly lowers. For cat, bring the tailbone down and round your spine. Look at the belly button. Again, cow, tailbone lifting, belly lowers. And cat, rounding the back. You continue to slowly link these postures. You can use the breath to move the body. Inhales tend to be upward movements, exhales downward. You might experiment with switching the breath. Okay, see how it feels. Okay, another round. Creating waves through the spine. And come to a more neutral back. And bring your elbows to the mat. So elbows aligned under the shoulders, upper arm is vertical. Try to keep forearms parallel to each other. Okay, just looking between the arms. Let's locate the shoulder blades again. We're going to work on retracting and protracting them apart. So start by moving shoulder blades in towards each other. So your chest will sink down. Just move slowly. Keep low belly toned. Then protract shoulder blades apart, pushing the arms down through the mat, broadening the upper back. Okay, again, retract shoulder blades in. Okay, moving slow, okay, building more control. Then protract shoulder blades apart, let them wrap around you. One more time, retract shoulder blades in. Then protract them apart. Keep shoulder blades in this position. It's a very stable position. And step one foot back at a time for a forearm plank. The legs straight, line of energy through the body. If you need less load to lift, just bring your knees down behind your hips. Okay, this can still be strong. Okay, commit to your version of the plank, pressing yourself away from the ground. One more breath. Waking up your center. Then gently lower knees and hips for Sphinx. You can untuck the toes, elbows still under shoulders, push down the arms, lifting the chest. Okay, in a back bend now. Hug your front ribs inward. Okay, just so we're not really loose in the abs. We want to support the spine. Okay, just look where the neck is comfortable. Another breath. Okay, then lowering the chest, reach the arms forward, palms facing in. Okay, so just look down so the neck is smooth. We're going to play with opposite arm and leg. So lift your left arm, your chest, and right leg, reaching for opposite walls. Okay, hips stay level on the mat. Okay, lower down. Then we'll raise right arm, chest, and left leg. Light lift here, not pushing very hard. Engaging opposing muscles in the back, reaching past fingers and toes. Release. Okay, we'll combine everything now, lifting both arms and legs. Long through the body, strong shoulders. One more breath here. Take the arms back and release down. Place hands by the ribs, child's pose, pushing hips towards your heels. Okay, just keep big toes together, knees at a comfortable width. Okay, let your head relax. Okay, if you need a pillow for the head, use a block or stack hands. Okay, you could always raise the ground. Take another expansive inhale, slow exhale. And place hands by your knees. Come to kneeling. Lift your chest sitting on heels. Legs can be together. If this is a lot of pressure on your ankles, do a tabletop instead. Okay, so if you're kneeling, place hands on the mat a bit in front of the knees, about shoulder width apart. If you're in tabletop, hands are under shoulders. We're going to keep hips locked in place, so just notice the position of your pelvis. Don't let it turn. Reach right arm to the right and place the right hand lightly behind your head. And we're going to turn the chest to the right. Try to raise your right elbow, creating a rotation from the middle spine up. Now take your right elbow across to the pit of the left elbow. And again, we're going to take a twist to the right. It doesn't have to be very deep. Then right elbow across to left. Once more, maybe using breath, open to the right. Take it across. Level your shoulders to reset, placing right hand down. Give yourself a pause. And then left arm goes left. Left hand behind your head. Okay, so in this kneeling position, you can lock your pelvis in place as you turn your chest left. Try to lift left elbow and move it across to the pit of the right elbow. Again, we'll open to the left smoothly. Take time and twist across the other way. Once more, opening left and go across. Then level your shoulders. Left hand down for a moment. If you're kneeling, move into tabletop, all fours again. Fingers spread apart, index fingers pointing either straight forward or slightly out. Tuck the toes under. Okay, let's hover the knees a few inches off your mat. Shoulder blades and moving apart, not sinking in. Bring the knees down lightly. And once more, we're going to float the knees. From here, go to downward facing dog, raising your hips. Push the hands down and forward, encouraging hips up and back. And you can always soften the knees to encourage more length in your upper body. Okay, and for stability, maybe hands and or feet move wider apart. Let your head relax, your gaze falls between the ankles or shins. One more breath. Now rising up on your toes, bend knees, take many steps to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, heart reaches forward. Fold, hands and head down. Come up to standing. Pressing down the feet, arms overhead. Then close, hands at heart center. Okay, we'll take a variation of sun salutation. Again, arms reach up to the sky. Folding forward, lead with your chest. Halfway lift. High plank. Okay, planting palms, step back. Okay, this is your first high plank. Okay, just like the forearm plank earlier, you could do this with knees down. Otherwise, legs are long, firm the thighs. Pull your palms and toes towards each other. Create tension by pulling. Continue to pull, lean forward, and lower yourself all the way to your stomach. Okay, can you control your descent? Untuck the toes. Pressing tops of the feet down, take a low cobra. Okay, it's a small back bend, lift your chest, hands very light, release down. Take another low cobra, engaging the back to lift the chest, neck is smooth. Hover hands off your mat and plant them under your elbows. Arms stay close to the body. You could stay here. If you're ready for more, go to high cobra or upward facing dog. Pressing down the hands, chest really high, thighs could float. Downward facing dog, raise hips. Okay, assess your breathing. Okay, try not to hold it at any time, keep it moving. On your next cycle, you're gonna send right leg back and up, right knee towards your nose, and step forward. Okay, plant the entire right foot, stay on the ball of the left foot. So you're in a runner's lunge. Okay, I tend to left fingertips. You might need to use a block underneath it. Take right arm forward, up to the ceiling, then back and down. We're creating a circle. Again, right arm reaches forward, then up. Let the twist happen. Take the arm back and down. Once more, right arm reaches forward and up. The shoulder moves. The arm goes back and down. Then weight to right foot, left foot steps forward. Halfway lifts. Fold. And rise up to standing. Push into the mat, circle the arms up. Closing, hands to your heart. Okay, let's reach arms overhead, grow taller. Folding forward, hinge at the hips. My cat wants to join us. Halfway lifts. Plank pose. Plant your palms. Step the feet back. So on toes or knees, lean and look forward. Option to lower halfway, maybe all the way for a push-up. Upward facing dog follows. Choose your back bend to downward facing dog. Okay, fill the lungs completely again. Empty them completely. And let's send left leg back and up. Knee to nose. Quiet step forward. Okay, so create a runner's lunge on the ball of the right foot. The lunge doesn't have to be very long. Right hand stays down. Left arm will reach forward. Up to the ceiling for a twist. Reach back, then down. Make a big circle. Again, left arm forward to the ceiling. Take up space. Back and down. Let your shoulder move. Last time with control. Sweeping left arm forward. Up, back and down. Weight to left foot to step right foot forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Rising up to standing. Arms reach high. Let's close it out. Hands at heart. Release arms by your sides. And keep the joints of the body stacked, maintain the curvature of your spine. And when you're ready, raise your heels. You try to do it slowly. Heels as high as you can get them, balancing on the balls of the feet, rooting the base of your big toes. In slow motion, return heels to the mat. Again, heels rise, body's tall, breath moving, easy shoulders. Heels descend to the mat. Okay, then one more time, as you lift the heels, also reach the arms up. Just frame ears with your arms. Pause at the top, reaching to the sky. Keep arms lifted. Bring heels to the mat and sit into chair. Heels now heavy. Okay, hips go back. Arms still framing ears. Reach with purpose. Sit lower if you can. Do your best to hug front ribs in gently. Another moment in chair. Forward fold, hands down. Halfway lift. Okay, go to a high plank and hold. Okay, don't hold your breath. From your high plank, keeping shoulders over the wrists, bring your left knee down. Left knee under the left hip. So like tabletop, okay, but with right leg extended back. The option to raise right leg, hip height, no higher. Level hips. Okay, avoid hammocking in the lower back, cinch the waist up. And for more, you could send left arm forward and creating a long line through the body. Push right hand through the mat. One more breath here. Return left hand to the mat. We're going to turn right foot out and take right leg to your right. Okay, stepping your foot onto the floor. Okay, I'll mirror you. So your right foot is in line with your left knee. We're going to stand up on the left knee. Okay, arms overhead, getting ready for gate pose. Okay, lengthen more in the waist. Smoothly bend upper body to the right. Okay, avoid falling to the side. Control this range of motion, stretching around the left rib cage. Breathe through that space. Try to push left knee through the ground. Okay, another breath here. Return to center and bring hands lightly behind your head. Okay, we're going to tip the torso away from the right leg without lifting right foot. And spin the chest upwards. Okay, recruiting every side of the midsection here. Right waist can pull you to center. Hands to the mat. Okay, listen closely. Using your outer right hip, raise right leg up. Send it straight back behind you. Tuck your left toes under. We'll go to three-legged dog. With right leg up and back, hands are pushing forward. Downward facing dog, both feet on the mat. Reset, be here, remaining present. On your next breath, come up high on the toes. Bend knees, stepping or walking forward. Halfway lift. Fold, chair pose. Just sit right into your chair, hips low, arms up by the ears. Arms reaching with energy, lift them with your lats, less work from the traps. Can your chair get shorter? One more breath. Forward fold, hands and head down. Halfway lift. Plank pose. Again, we'll pause in plank. Keep shoulders over wrists, arms straight. Right knee down under the right hip. You could keep left toes on the mat or lift the leg, but just hip height. You try to keep the torso pretty neutral, spine neutral. Right arm forward. Push left hand through the mat. Simple balance here. Reaching past right hand and left heel. Return right hand to the mat. Turn left foot and knee out. Sending your left leg to your left through space. Lower your foot to the floor. The left toes point forward. I'll mirror you now, so let's stand on the right knee. Okay, arms overhead. Arms are an extension of the torso. And let's bend upper body to the left. Okay, expanding your right side. Push right knee through the mat. Stay active while you stretch. Okay, so you're not sinking into the joints. Rise to center. Now bring fingertips lightly behind your head and tilt your torso away from the left leg. Okay, not lifting left foot, keep it planted. Spin the heart upwards. Okay, breath shouldn't feel restricted or strained. Make sure it has space. Okay, your left waist can pull you back to center. Hands down. Okay, pushing through hands, raise the left leg. Outer hip strong, send your left leg straight back behind you. Tuck your right toes under for three-legged dog. Okay, left leg is in the air. Downward facing dog. A few moments here to reset. Where can you be stronger? But where can you also find some ease? On your next breath, rise up on the toes. Bend knees, step or walk forward. Halfway lift. And fold. Rise up to standing, arms reach above you. Close it out with hands at heart. Okay, lower arms by your sides. Okay. Another full inhale. Slow exhale. Okay, reaching arms up. Fold forward, hinge at the hips. Okay, here, just step your left foot back. Okay, on the ball of the left foot now, make sure there's about hip width distance side to side between thighs. Okay, before we rise, can you float your fingertips off your mat? Okay, then take the arms back. Okay, alongside you, line of energy, look ahead of right toes. Option to reach arms forward for just a little more challenge, adding some weight up top. And then bring the strength up to crescent, chest and arms up. And so naturally there'll be a light tilt forward in the pelvis, especially with our left leg extended behind us. If you feel a lot of compression in your lower spine, I would keep left knee bending. Okay, bring additional space to the lower back. Okay, hands to heart. Okay, easy shoulders. Okay, keeping hands where they are. For a back bend, lift your chest up towards your hands. Okay, think of lifting behind your spine. You could raise your gaze, lifting heart towards hands. Good. Return to neutral, gazing forward. Hands to the mat. Okay, and for a side plank, we're going to face the right side. You can keep left hand under your left shoulder. Roll to the outer left foot and stack your legs. Right arm at 12 o'clock. If you need the supported version, bring left knee under your left hip. Firm thighs, don't let the hips sink. Maybe you raise right leg in the air. Another breath. If you raised right leg, lower it. Softly bring right hand down. A high plank. Option here to shift forward and go through a push-up. And use knees if you need less load, more control. Upward facing dog follows to downward facing dog. Find a balance of weight here between the upper and lower body. Lessen load on the wrists by rooting base knuckles. On your next breath, come up high on the toes. Bend knees, step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Folding forward. Okay, now right foot steps back. Stay on the ball of the right foot. Okay, avoid crossing the feet. Before we rise, hover fingertips off the mat. Okay, brace your belly a little bit. Okay, arms back. Keep the chest lighter, buoyant. Look ahead of left toes. Option to bring the arms forward, frame your ears. Extra strong. Then come up to crescent. Arms to the sky. Okay, sense the position of the pelvis here in space. It could tip a little forward naturally, okay, but if there's a lot of compression in the lower spine, soften your right knee. You see how that affects it. Hands to heart. Okay, now just begin to lift the chest. Lift behind your spine for a back bend. Okay, chest up towards the hands. Okay, avoid dropping the head back. Neck is smooth. Okay, keep the power in your legs. Okay, return to neutral. Hands to the mat. Take a moment, then set up your side plank now to the left. So right hand is under right shoulder. Roll to the outer right foot. Stacking legs. Okay, another way to do this is bringing right knee under right hip. Arms at 12 and 6 o'clock. Okay, lift out of your right shoulder. Firm your thighs. Okay, don't let the hips fall. Neck is active. Maybe you float left leg in the air. Okay, strong through your side. One more breath. Okay, lower left leg. Softly bring left hand to the mat. High plank. Option to do a push-up. Okay, if you want to skip it, go straight to downward facing dog. That's where we'll meet. Okay, stay aware of your pacing. Manage your energy, your breath. Another full cycle. You're rising up on the toes. Bend knees, step or walk to the top. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Rise up to standing. Grounding feet, abs slightly braced. Hands to heart. Arms by your sides. Okay, recentering here in mountain. Okay, so let's take the feet now about as wide as the mat. Everyone's stance is a little different for a deep squat. So you can turn your feet out about to like 11 and 1 o'clock or 10 and 2. Okay, bend your knees and with control, of course, start to lower the hips. Okay, you might have the hips just a third of the way down, maybe halfway. Okay, elbows could be on thighs lightly. If you're in a deeper squat, okay, maybe elbows are inside the knees. Okay, so let's try to bring more engagement into this. If we just rest in the joints, we're not going to build any strength or stability. So we want to activate stuff, okay, by pushing down feet, trying to pull the knees back, raise your hips a centimeter, maybe lift the chest a centimeter too. Okay, in a moment I'll add more. You could always just stay here low in a squat. Okay, to add on, we're going to press down the feet and slowly lengthen your legs, rising up to standing. Okay, shift more weight into your right foot. Can you lift your left knee? Try to bring right elbow across to left knee. Then return your left foot to the ground, wide stance, lowering into your squat. Okay, move deliberately. Again, pressing down feet, rise up, chest lifting. Okay, transition weight into your left foot. Can you take left elbow across to right knee? So not knee to elbow, elbow to knee. Softly step right foot down and lower into your squat. Okay, skip any of these parts if you'd like. Okay, but for more challenge, we'll just try each side once more. Rising with control. Weight to right foot, find your balance. Elbow across. Okay, left foot down, lower into squat. Last one, strong through your legs, push down to rise. Weight to left foot, elbow to knee. Untwist left or right foot down and move into your squat. Knees back, don't let them fall in. One more breath here. Hands down, raise your hips. Heel toe the feet together or hip width apart. Take a halfway lift. Fold. Come up to standing. Arms overhead. Hands to heart. Okay, lower the arms. Give yourself a moment in mountain. Just enough effort to be tall. Okay. But placing hands on hips. Shift weight to the right foot. Again balancing on one leg. We'll raise the left thigh. And using the strength of your front left hip, the flexor, can you pull your knee up a little higher? And without leaning back too much, extend your left leg forward. Rebend your left knee. Crescent lunge, step left foot back. A big step. If you land on a tightrope or with feet crossing, you can widen your stance. Okay. With hands, you can feel the position of the pelvis. Just try to level it out. Then arms overhead. Warrior two, left heel spins down. The right foot is still pointing forward. Okay, bending into right knee, left leg long, anchor left heel. Can you contract or squeeze outer hip step? Flip your right palm, reversed warrior. Okay, we're gonna keep right arm reaching up, and left hand will go across to the right waist, using this hand for feedback, feeling the breath, feeling space beneath it. Warrior two, hips still low. For extended side angle, reach upper body forward more. Long waist, right elbow to right thigh lightly, left arm up. Okay, you could keep left arm at 12 o'clock or send it all the way overhead. Okay. Now we're going to try to reach right hand across to left waist. So seeing if you can keep the torso light in space, strong around your midsection, spinning the chest upwards. Okay, turn your left palm back. Bring the back of your left hand to your lower spine, kind of like a bind. But we're going to just try to hold this left arm's position without leverage, using strength. If you can, hover the left hand off your back. One more breath. Warrior two, powerful legs, reach through arms. Windmill hands down. High plank. Option to take a push-up. Okay, skip it if you'd like. We're gonna meet in downward facing dog. Okay, if you do the push-up, move as one piece. The back bend follows, then hips high. Okay, arrive in downward facing dog. How can the breath enhance this experience or each posture? On your next cycle, rise up on the toes. Bend your knees, stepping forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Rising up to stand. Close it out with hands at heart. Arms by your sides. A moment here to reset. My cat isn't very entertained by this. So standing tall, just bring hands onto hips, shifting weight into your right foot now. Raise right thigh. So we're standing on left foot, right thigh is lifting. Maybe you can pull your right knee a little higher, perhaps above hip height. Without leaning back too much, extend your right leg forward. Okay, getting the front of the thigh working, supporting leg strong, rebend right knee, step back to crescent. Okay, just focus on securing your foundation first. Okay, feel how the pelvis is affected by the legs. I'm just trying to level the pelvis a little more. Okay, a slight tip forward is normal. Okay, arms could reach up. Warrior two, spin right heel down. Okay, maybe widening your base, arms shoulder level. Okay, can you push through the feet evenly, squeeze outer hip stuff. Settle down. Left palm flips. Reverse your warrior. The left hand tries to reach to the ceiling. We're going to move right hand across to the left waist. So we're not resting in the right hand. Instead, you could breathe into it. Warrior two. Hips stay low. Reach upper body forward. Extended side angle. Choose your arms for now. If left arm is on the left leg, okay, notice if you rest into it, take some load off that left arm. Right arm up or overhead. Okay, so recruiting oblique, strong through your midsection. Sweep the left hand across to right waist. Spin the heart up. Turn right palm back, bringing right hand to your lower spine. Okay, maybe you can hover right hand off your back. Okay, strong through your shoulder. Another breath here. Warrior two. Hands windmill down. High plank on toes or knees. The option to do your push-up, mindful with whatever you decide to do, meet in downward facing dog. Another slow breath in, slow breath out. Right, move into a high plank. Lower yourself all the way down to your stomach. Untuck the toes. We'll take a stretch for the chest. Right arm will go to your right. Your arm is perpendicular to the body, maybe farther back. Okay, for more, if you need more, roll towards your right side. You might be able to rest the head. Legs could be stacked. Left foot could also step behind the right knee. If your head needs a pillow, you could use your left hand. Sometimes I make a fist. A block could also be helpful. You could bring a little more strength into this for more stretch by locating the right shoulder blade and trying to hug it in towards the spine, retracting. Okay, unwind, return to your stomach. Step right hand under the right shoulder, left arm to your left. Okay, so perpendicular to your body or farther back. Okay, for more, okay, always check in before you add on. Okay, you could roll to your left side, legs long and stacked, or right foot stepping behind left knee. Make sure the neck and head feel supported. Maintain a three-dimensional breath, moving and creating a stretch. We add strength to this by locating the left shoulder blade and try to draw it or hug it in towards the spine, retraction. Okay, so you shorten these muscles on the upper back to lengthen muscles on the front of the chest. Return to your stomach. Slide left hand towards you. We're going to do one bow pose. Okay, so knees bend, hold the outer feet, strong grip. If you'd rather do locust, you can keep arms and legs straight. For bow, kick back into your hands, engaging the back body, kick, and then raise your chest and thighs. If you're locust, just lift everything. Okay, kick back for bow, maybe kick up. Breathe at the same time, don't hold it. Shorter breaths might be better here. One more cycle. With control, release down. Look to the left with arms draping at your sides. Rest the shoulders. Soften the legs. Soften the belly. Breathing through the mat and in all other directions. If you're looking to the left, just turn your head the opposite way. Chin to center. Hands outside the ribs. Let's go to child's pose, pushing hips towards your heels. Stretching out the back after that back bend in bow. Okay, lift your head and chest. Hips to one side, legs forward. Okay, so we'll take like a straddle stretch. So you can have the legs wide, make a V. It doesn't have to be very wide here. Try to keep the pelvis a little more neutral, not tipping under you or forward too much. Okay, you could always bend the knees or make the V narrower. Okay, hands in front of you for support. Lifting through the chest. Can you keep toes pointing to the sky? And add more by walking hands forward, just inch by inch. Encourage the chest forward, where you look matters. Feel free to stay in center or crawl your hands a little bit more to the right. Avoid overstretching or torquing the lower back too much. Do less if you need less. Can hips stay grounded? You can walk hands through center and across to the left. Return to center. Hands walk towards you, sitting upright. And you could bring hands to outer legs, bend knees, guide the legs together. Okay, lower onto your back, please. Okay, and once you're on your back, we'll try reclined pigeon. Almost forgot the name. So knees are bent, feet planted. cross right ankle over left knee, allowing that right knee to move forward to your own degree, and also dorsiflex the right ankle, okay, moving the foot towards your shin to stabilize that right knee better. Okay, stay here or lift left foot off the ground. Okay, for even more, you could interlace fingers behind the left thigh. Using hands as leverage to pull as you create tension in this stretch. Keep it gradual. Maintain the shape of the legs. Just return your left foot to the mat. Okay, so you're still in this like figure 4 type of position. We're just going to let the legs tip over to the left so your right foot steps on the floor. Listen close, there's going to be lots of lefts and rights. So push your right foot down actively, just keeping more leg muscles engaged. Keep right knee pointing to the ceiling if you can. Stay here, or try to hold right ankle with your left hand. If it doesn't reach, don't stress. As you hold that right ankle with left hand, reach right arm back overhead. Try to touch the wall behind you. At the same time, send right thigh just subtly forward, a little bit away from you. Okay, opposite of the right arm. Just getting into the side body a little more. Rib cage expanding. Letting go of the right ankle. Embrace the belly a little to unwind legs to center, right foot down. If you need, give legs a shake. And then recline pigeon with left ankle over right knee. Dorsiflex the ankle, so if your left foot moves towards the shin. Okay, you could stay here. Maybe your right foot lifts off the ground to stretch the outer hip more. You can also interlace fingers behind right thigh, and just incrementally pulling that right thigh towards you. Breath shouldn't feel restricted. There should be no pain. Another breath or two. And lower right foot to the mat. Legs still in the same position, figure 4-ish shape. Your legs will gently fall to the right. Step your left foot on the floor. Push left foot down. And try to keep your left knee pointing to the ceiling. Okay, option to hold left ankle with right hand. If it doesn't reach, don't force it. Left arm will go overhead, try to touch the back wall, while left thigh moves forward just a little. Okay, not a big motion. Another moment here. Letting go of the left ankle. Unwind legs to center, left foot down. Let's take a happy baby, reaching for the outer edges of the feet. Other options are holding ankles or shins, even the thighs. Knees wide, hips heavy. You might move, swaying, lengthening legs perhaps. If the body wants stillness, you try that instead. Okay, then if you'd like to take a final resting pose, just choose the most comfortable position, maybe everything releases to the ground. You could always end in a seated position. Maybe you like legs up the wall, or using props to raise the floor. Okay, honor all of your effort with some stillness, with some effortlessness. Stay as long as you need. Take time to reset. Thank you for joining me, and I hope this practice really empowers and enriches how you move through your day. I'll see you next time.